who's attacking your family?
Yes.
Who is it? Do they?
I'll call them.
Are you there?
Hello?
Hi, what's going on there? What's going on there? Hello? Hello?
Today's case happened in 2015 in the United States. It is a cruel, barbaric story that will leave you speechless. An unbelievable massacre was visited upon the Bever family. In 2015, the Bever family lived in Oklahoma in the United States. They were a considerably large household. Father David Bever, aged 52, and Mother April Bever, aged 44, had 7 children. It is important to name each of them as some of them will play an important role in the outcome of today's case. I will identify them from oldest to youngest. Robert 18, Michael 16, Crystal 13, Daniel 12, Christopher 7, Victoria 5 and Autumn 2 years old. Of the couple, only David was employed, and as his salary was not enough to pay for all the children's education, April homeschooled them. However, this made the children feel trapped. They were not allowed to play with other children in the neighborhood. They only had each other as friends. To give you an idea, the neighbors barely knew the names of the children, to the point that some had never been seen by them. Some even said that they only found out that there were 7 children living in the residence when the details of the case came to light. The parents indoctrinated their children with religious beliefs, preaching of the apocalypse and the rapture. They reinforced the assertion that in the world there were people who wanted to hurt others. The children had to stay at home to be safe, away from sinners, until they acquired the maturity to take to the streets without being diverted from their path by third parties with bad intentions. These facts may have brought about dark thoughts in the minds of the 2 older brothers, Robert and Michael. They were very close to each other. In bed at night, they talked about their obsession with serial killers. During these conversations, they agreed that they wanted to model themselves on the killers they idolized so much. They devised a plan aimed at surpassing the number of victims of the Columbine Massacre, which occurred in '99. They would shoot random people in the street until they could no longer do so. However, since they couldn't leave the house, they needed to first eliminate this limitation to their ambitions and take advantage of that to increase the victim count. In other words, the initial victims would be all members of their family. Although the plan was planned in 2015, Robert had already had criminal thoughts for years, and for a long time he collected information on how to buy weapons and ammunition on the deep web. They ordered the materials and the delivery date was scheduled for July 23rd. But they knew that as soon as the box arrived, their parents would open it to find out what it was, as the purchase had been made without authorization. Thus, they would need to start slaughtering the family a day before using whatever knives they had at home. So, on July 22nd, 2015, at night, they put the plan into practice. During the night, after 11 p.m., they called their older sister Crystal into their room to see something on the computer. As soon as she entered, Robert came from behind and grabbed her, covered her mouth and slit her throat. After that, he started stabbing her in the chest and arms. Already severely injured and fighting for her life, Crystal managed to escape and screamed through the house calling for help. Their mother was the first to appear. She ran down the stairs towards where she had heard the girl's voice. She found her daughter bleeding on the floor in front of the boy's bedroom door, but didn't have time to react. The two ran out and jumped on top of their mother. They stabbed April 48 times and only stopped when David appeared. The two grabbed him and started stabbing him, delivering a total of 28 blows to their father. When Crystal had first screamed, brothers Daniel and Christopher locked themselves in their room. Daniel, just 12 years old, called the police.
911. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, where are you at?
Oklahoma, Oklahoma 7411.
What address?
709 Magnolia Court.
Okay. Are you the only one there?
No, my brother's attacking my family.
Your dad is attacking your family?
No, my brother. He has an idea stealing me. Oh, millions of people out.
Okay, who's attacking your family?
What?
Who's attacking your family?
Yes.
Who is it? Do they have...
I'll call them.
Are you there?
Hello?
Hi, what's going on there? What's going on there? Hello? Hello?
She quickly called vehicles to the scene, but what she, the attendant, hadn't realized was that Daniel had just died from a total of 21 stab wounds. The next victim was Christopher, who in an attempt to escape tried to lock himself in the bathroom but was unable to close the door in time. The brothers attacked him and killed him with 21 stab wounds. Now, only the two younger sisters were missing, Victoria, age 5, and Autumn, age 2. It didn't take them long to find Victoria, who was also attacked with 23 stab wounds. As they went upstairs to kill the last sister, they heard the police cars arriving and they fled through the back door. Through the window, the police saw the bodies inside the house, and when they arrived at the rear, they found that the back door was open. A team immediately rushed to a nearby wooded area in search of the person responsible, who until then the police believed to be just a brother. It took very little time for the police to find them. The two did not flee into the forest. They tried to hide and were caught together, covered in blood, and gave no resistance to their arrest. In the house, there was still life. Besides the youngest, who was found sleeping in the bedroom without any injuries, Crystal was still on the floor, breathing very slowly and with a very weak heartbeat. She was rushed to the hospital and managed to survive. The next day, the brothers' order of weapons arrived and was intercepted by the police. When they opened it, they found weapons and several cartridges of ammunition. Furthermore, following a confession from Robert himself, they found a USB stick in the house with various details of their plans. During the interrogations, Michael, the youngest, maintained throughout that he did not actually commit the crimes, but only did what he did because his brother had threatened to kill him if he did not help. But this claim was not accepted for two main reasons. The first was that in the 911 call, Daniel clearly says the name Michael when he asks him to stop, and the second is that the barbarity of the attacks which took place in the house could not have been carried out by just one person. Robert proudly confessed to all the crimes and gave details of their plans to continue killing. He spoke of his hatred for his parents since he was 13 years old, when he was already imagining that one day he would kill them. Several drawings of his were found predicting the scenario of death and murder. The plans included video cameras where they would record everything and put it on the internet. They would kill random people and try to surpass the number of victims of the Columbine massacre. He also said that his youngest sister, just 2 years old, would have been raped before she died. His reasons for the crime included hatred for society and the belief that in taking someone's life, he would have power over their story. During several chilling moments in his testimony, he smiled, showing pride in the evil that he had done. Finally, on August 9, 2018, after months of hearings, Robert was sentenced to life imprisonment without parole, and Michael, a minor at the time of the crime, was also sentenced to life imprisonment, but will be entitled to apply for parole after 50 years. A relative took custody of Crystal and Autumn, and the house was left empty for a few months. Less than 2 years later, on March 18, 2017, the house caught fire due to a short circuit, and nothing remained. The city council purchased the land with the intention of creating a park in honor of the victims. They called it the Reflection Park.